Today, we're racing the Legend of the Seven Islands. You guys can play along and play that through Questmaster as well. First things first, though, we are going to be starting with an interview with Julian, the dev of Questmaster. Julian!
What's up? How's it going?
See, now you got
Oh,
this.
yeah. I'm like lighting up when I talk.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so people now know when you're talking.
That's funny. That's funny.
I learned this from VTubers, and I'm like, this is very useful. I guess I can make him bounce. There you go. Now we've got Jiggly Julian. First things first, let's clear the elephant in the room. Congratulations on becoming a father.
Thank you. Wait, what?
Didn't you announce you were having a kid?
What? Hell no.
Which game was I following that had the dev having become I thought you were becoming a dad. Scratch that. Congratulations on living.
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you.
Jesus, sorry, man.
I mean, maybe you know more than me, but I probably won't be sleeping anyway, so like having a kid is definitely not part of the plan.
Oh, so you'll be ready for it. If you're not sleeping anyways, then you're totally ready, because when you have kids, you don't sleep.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good point actually. That's a good point.
You're built for this. You're ready. One of the cool things about the fact that this charity race is happening today is we are what I'm assuming to be close to the 1.0 release of Questmaster. So this will be the official last map sort of dev before 1.0, because I'm waiting for all the new assets and to basically go in maybe before the overworld, but really waiting for the overworld update to come out.
Yeah.
So how's that campaign going?
Very well. I know that we're like keeping it like a very quiet, but like there's many things happening behind the scenes that we're not talking about yet. We will be soon, so watch out for that. But yeah, it's going great. We are focusing, as everyone has kind of noticed, we are focusing efforts mainly on the campaign. That is true, because it's just so much work. However, everything benefits. Also the Dungeon Maker, because many things that are added for the campaign also come to Dungeon Maker. Basically everything. So it's going to be a very exciting thing when we finally announce and reveal things about the campaign. Perhaps we might even have like a public demo for it, where you get to try out like the first few parts of the campaign. That might be possible. I don't know what Apogee has planned for it, but I would be down for it. Yeah, it's going very well.
In the campaign, it looked like the overworld was going to be a piece of it. So when you say that basically everything will be involved in the editor, are we expecting like maybe certain pieces of that campaign will come out in later developments, and the main focus is just to make sure that the campaign is happening on its own, and then all the assets will be trickled out as you flesh it out for players beyond yourself?
We'll have to see. Probably not, though. I would imagine that like 1.0 is gonna be like the biggest update by far. Like it will suppress any of the major updates by a long shot, and obviously we're also kind of gatekeeping certain things. Like
yes.
In the past few weeks, I could have been releasing new updates every week, literally, but I'm not. We've talked this through with Apogee. We're just not doing it because, for one thing, like we publicly announced that we're shutting it down for now.
Right.
So like we can't just like kind of like revert our statement. That would be kind of weird.
Yes. Yeah.
But the other thing obviously is also to like build up hype and also collect, like just build up features that we can push along with 1.0, just so it's not like from the scope wise just like another major update, right? We wanted to feel very impactful, and we wanted to be impactful on all like aspects of the game. So like the castle town is going to be completely redone, obviously, with many new mini games, houses, NPCs, side quests, like proper side quests actually. Obviously we have the campaign, we have the Dungeon Maker, which won't change much, but like there will be especially many new enemies and bosses coming. Of course also new items and other things. But I would argue comparatively, oh yeah, also new themes. Multiple actually. That's really cool. So
multiple new themes, because I remember last time we talked, you were worried about the state of how many themes you could bring in beyond the beyond like the additional support that you need from the game itself. So
yeah,
things have changed.
No, I'm very excited to be able to like have multiple new themes in the game. Yeah, I think we do surpass 10 in total.
Yes. Yeah, I think you said you wanted 10 by release last time we checked.
Yeah,
by
so
1.0
we'll be surpassing that by like we probably have I think we have 11 right now. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I'm not even sure myself. But yeah, very cool stuff. So that's gonna be obviously like people always like ask for new themes, right? So that's gonna be a huge thing. And yeah, that's also one thing that's I know I can talk about this stuff because it's kind of like I decided it.
Yeah, this would be the worst time for you to lose your job, by the way. Worst time.
Yeah, that's true. But like, there will be, like, one thing that people have been requesting very much is like a different type of inventory system, right? So, one where you have just like a classic Zelda game where you actually have persistent items in like a large grid, and you select them in the menu. So, this is also how it will work in the campaign. And since we couldn't fit the pouch system into like coherent dungeons, right? I decided, okay, let's redesign it. Let's just have a classic Zelda system, and that obviously also comes to Dungeon Maker as a toggle. So you'll be able to switch between the legacy one, which is like 4 sword style, and you will be able to switch that to a more classic menu-based inventory system, which will not work with the pouch, because of course, right? The pouch doesn't work with that, but you'll be able to collect all of those items and not have to like switch them out again.
Yeah.
Required for the overworlds down the line. That's a very important thing. It would not work with like the classic, like the legacy one we have right now.
Of course, yeah. And even so, you could I mean, there will be ways that people will figure out how to use the legacy pouch system to bring things from one to the other, because that's actually something that I was prepping for, because I didn't actually even think about going back to the classic Zelda inventory system. So that's fascinating. Would that mean, so just because there are a lot of powerful effects, intended and unintended, with a lot of the items, would there be any need for you to diversify? Like, how would it work, for example, with the boomerangs? Would we be able to toggle similar to, I think it's Wind Waker or even Ocarina of Time, where like you could switch between the normal, the fire, and the ice boomerang? Is that what you're kind of leaning towards?
Yeah, so the thing with the variants is that I'm not sure yet how we're gonna solve it. It would feel kind of weird having 2 boomerangs in the same inventory, right?
Right.
But they arguably do have different kinds of uses. So I'm not sure yet, because I'm not sure if we use variants specifically in the campaign even, so that's not a problem we have to solve for. However, I think it would make sense to just like allow you to like just have both, honestly, right? And then just toggle between them. Same with the like in regards to like the bow and quiver, like being able to collect multiple quiver styles for different arrow effects,
right?
And different bow types for different bow effects. So I think it makes sense to have multiple items. Like they could be bunched up,
right,
in the inventory as well with like as variants, right? So like you were to press on the same item and would switch to the next one, just so it's cleaner and you don't have multiple arrows, like boomerangs visible in the inventory, but like it's like combined into one slot, right?
Yeah.
Just like in Zelda, like how you select like the arrow types, right? That would make sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
So you still be only able to like collect one of a type, like only one wooden boomerang. You can't collect 2 of them. Makes no sense. But yes. It would be probably like varianted like in the context menu.
So now so there's one specific thing that I think about right now. Will there be... Okay, and you might not be able to answer this. Are you going to account for conditions that use the pedestal or chests to adapt certain items? So for example, like we could put anything on a pedestal right now, but we're really only with 2 items. Is there a future with modding or with the base game where a pedestal might require a boomerang to be put on it, or something specific, similar to how you have the sword pedestal?
Certainly with modding, I don't have plans for boomerang pedestals specifically for the base game. There will be pedestals for every single item type, so there will be like 1 pedestal for gauntlets, 1 for flippers, 1 for yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Thank
but
God.
I don't have plans plans for specific like tool types like boomerangs, magic rods, but they should be possible to do with modding. Yeah. That'd be a modding thing for sure.
So you're letting me live out the dream of stealing my players' shoes after giving them shoes. Oh, thank God.
Exactly. Yeah, because
Thank
like
you.
people have been requesting to like be able to like take off those passives, and you can't right now. You can only take them. So that makes a lot of sense, I think.
I mean, you know what though? Like those are the kinds of options that even just the inventory system, like you can challenge, people will be challenged to like try and make a legacy system work, but also now you're giving them sort of that expanded inventory so that overworlds will feel more clean, more traditional. It'll clean up a lot of logic for a lot of makers, newer and older. So I think that's like an excellent call. Something I wouldn't have even thought about with the overworld. I think we're just all thinking overworld, not thinking about what that means for puzzles or logic. So good call, Julian.
Important one. Just a question by Lagaluya. Fishing is like the fishing minigame that at the pond, like at the water in the right of Castletown, they will be part of 1.0. Yes, indeed. That's one of the mini games that we'll be adding. In terms of modding, so like my plan has always been to have the game be fully moddable with 1.0 for sure, and that's still my aspiration. I hope I can get it done. The most egregious things that would be to mod would be like themes. That's the most difficult to implement still, especially after the refactor to the new render pipeline I did a few months ago.
Okay.
Which would deal. Well, I'm still dealing with issues right now from it, graphically, very annoying. But otherwise, I do have some cool plans. I don't know if I can get that done before 1.0. However, I want to make, because I always notice this when I make new enemies, it's very kind of annoying to create them because it's not very quick to create new behaviors. So what I want to do is actually also make the behavior moddable of enemies, right? So you would be able to define them in the YAML file, like different states and transitions and like what entails that. So you could, I don't know, you could make like a custom enemy that teleports around but also jumps around like a slime and shoots projectiles, stuff like that, right?
Oh dear God.
So like fully custom behaviors. And I do have also plans for, it sounds a bit ridiculous, but like kind of like a programming language, but like based on YAML. Okay. I have some concepts for that. It's very interesting. Would also be way more customizable and still fairly straightforward to use. But that's probably quite far in the future. Might not even get to that before 1.0 because that's again such a big refactor. Because like I would want all the existing game mechanics to also use those new rules in the YAML files, because Questmaster itself is a mod, right? That like the base game files also use the modding and create all the items and enemies eventually. So that's always a concern for making those big changes. Would have been great to like have that from the get-go, but you know that's just how it goes. However, I think behavior modding is going to be the most interesting thing, because that will allow mods to actually like really stand out. Right now, mods are great. I love them, but like when it comes to enemies, for example, there just isn't like even if all enemy types were moddable right now, there just isn't that crazy variance in them because they still use the same behavior. And that would change once the behaviors actually are moddable by themselves.
And I mean, the aesthetic is always going to be the one that's going to be standing out. Although, like, you look at something like Etherea's Essentials, and it already brings just a ton of life to the game. And modders, I think, have been eaten quite well with Questmaster already. So to hear that,
I love that aspect.
Yeah. So like being able, like we knew you talked about behavior modification, theme modification, stuff like that. And again, I think that's something that really stands out with Questmaster is its customizability and your willingness to bring that customization to the players. So much that I might even learn coding just to be able to do it myself, because I might want to build a Taskmaster styled monster where they can just do everything that every monster can do and just see what it looks like.
Right, yeah.
So the thickness of Zorbius, the immunity of Lunark.
That'd be possible with that, for sure. That'd be great.
I want a Golmek that moves like Lerm, just a dragging Golmek. I guess sort of my final question, because we're trying to keep it as secret as possible, but I still wanted you to come on today, is at this point, your game has over 300 reviews. It has a 98% positive rating, and there is a potential for the more players that there are, the greater the investment into developing the game further there can be. So I guess at this point, because this is probably going to be, unless something else comes out and you're going to surprise me like, hey, we need to talk about this. This might be the last talk before 1.0. I want to give you the floor and speak directly to the community and kind of tell them how you feel about this entire journey of yourself coming from the old days of Questmaster to now, over a year later, approaching 1.0.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, I never even imagined Questmaster to have a campaign in the first place, let alone something as ambitious as we have planned and in development right now. I think many people are heavily underestimating the campaign, and I hope they will be blown away by it, because it not only goes, it just goes in so many directions, just also, lore-wise, storytelling-wise. I'm very excited for that, because people have been asking for lore about the world of Questmaster for so long, and we're finally able to build on that and very deeply. There's gonna be also a lot of optional stuff, kind of like in Dark Souls, where the people will be able to piece together everything. We're giving breadcrumbs of many things, so you'll be able to piece it together yourself. I'm excited for the wikis to fill out with the lore stuff.
Right.
And the game still comes out in 1.0 this year. That's for sure. I don't want to miss that opportunity. I really don't want to delay it again until next year. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but I want to finish it as well, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just I know people are kind of annoyed that there are not that many content updates anymore, and I'm sorry for that. I wish we could do both, but it's just hard in such a small team to do everything. So I hope the kind of still time that we're doing right now pays off in the end. I'm confident that it will. But yeah, there's new stuff coming very, very soon. Content, a small update, that's for sure, and also new modding stuff. So because my philosophy right now is, until 1.0 releases, I'll just have more modding stuff released, so the modders can kind of fill in the gaps. So there will be next thing is item mods, so custom swords, custom stuff, custom tools, anything in the item category. Anything in the item category is going to be moddable. And then hopefully someday I'll get to the tiles and themes, but yeah, that's for another day.
Oh, absolutely.
Not sure when that comes out.
And you know what? Your biggest fans of Questmaster will be here waiting and understanding that the process will be polished, as it always has been over the past almost 2 years at this point. So, you know,
very important to me.
I'm not a voice of the community, but I can say, as someone who's spent now 600 hours on this game, with building maps and playing and kind of shilling this out to everyone that I can, I'd like to personally say thank you for dropping that other roguelike game that I was going to buy from you anyways. But thank you for bringing a magical world and putting this much thought and effort into a map maker game, and that you and the team have done an exceptional job with not only taking care of the community, but making everything more and more exciting with each update that you bring out, because I do believe that this is the most comprehensive development I've seen in a Zelda map maker that's not Zelda, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, thank you for putting together such a well-designed program and trusting the community with modding it and trusting the community with playing it. So,
thank you so much. Yeah, my pleasure. That's what I intend to do.
And you're doing it.
Yes.
All right, Julian. Thank you very much again. Always a pleasure to have you online. Feel
my
better.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
We'll see you at 1.0. This is it. I don't get to talk to my bud for months. He's busy apparently having a kid and running Questmaster all at the same time. Incredible.
Oh boy.
Who the hell was it? To any dev out there who's watching this interview with Julian, if you're having a kid, congratulations to you, game dev.